A lot of people wonder why I don't do YouTube anymore. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I can go on X and say whatever the fuck I want and not have a fucking problem. Somebody gifted me a blue check mark on X so I could make, instead of 2 minute and 20 videos on GPM 316, I could make fucking 30-minute videos if I want. X is completely better. I could do whatever the fuck I want, post any video I want on there, and I don't have to worry about it being taken down. So yeah, I haven't really had the chance. I just don't care. I mean, this channel's not monetized. I mean, it probably is, but I don't do it. I just don't care. My other channel, I just forget about it. But all right, I'll make a video right now since I'm here. Let's talk about Shadeur Sanders. All right, it's obvious. When Shadeur came to Cleveland, he was drafted in the 5th round. I watched him play, and I didn't think he was that good in college. I mean, he was accurate, this and that. Wasn't very athletic. I thought he was kind of fucking pathetic. Wasn't very athletic. I thought he was kind of pathetic. But anyway, he comes to Cleveland, and I don't know if the draft situation made him wake up and say, you know what? Because I heard he was real bad in draft situation. He would go to New York and be like, maybe I'm not the guy for you. He was basically someone that thought he was better than everybody and above, and he's like, well, maybe he thought he could pick and choose where he wanted to go. Remember his dad said he could go with teams he can go to and he can't? Well, anyway, he ended up by going to the Browns, and I know his dad didn't want that. But anyway, so Shadeur fucked up, and the best thing that happened to him was Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco whitenized Shadeur. Joe Flacco did what Dion couldn't do in 22 years. In 2 weeks, he whitenized Shadeur and made him more tolerable. I know people are going to say that's racist, but it's the truth. Shadeur is no longer that clown that was at Colorado acting like an idiot. So he has changed. As far as his play on the field, I watched him play the other day. He's better than I thought. The thing I took away from that game was it was a very vanilla defense. They didn't throw any blitzes at him, so it was very vanilla, but he looked calm, cool in the pocket, didn't look flustered, looked poised. Now I need to see him against a better defense that will blitz him, and I can get more of an evaluation on. But I do believe what I've seen. He looks like he can be like a Baker Mayfield type quarterback. We had our quarterback, and they let him go because the Ivy League called. See, if you go to Twitter or X, GPM 316, I can go out there and tell you why the Ivy League cult fucked up and what's going on, because I can say whatever I want on there, but the Ivy League cult got rid of Baker Mayfield because they don't know football. But anyway, do I believe, in today's NFL, let me explain to you guys about the NFL. In today's NFL, there's like 22 franchise quarterbacks. And the reason why is because of the rules. When a receiver goes over the middle, he doesn't have to have his head on the swivel no more. He knows he can go over that middle, and he's not going to take a life-altering hit. So he'll catch anything thrown to him. It's a lot easier to play. It's so much easier to play receiver in the game right now because you don't have to worry about a life-altering hit. Your head's not on the swivel. The same for quarterbacks. They know they can sit back there. They're not going to get hit like they used to. So that's why there's 22 franchise quarterbacks. Every draft, there's like 40 franchise quarterbacks today. And when I say that, like, what do you mean 40? There are 40 guys that play quarterback, probably 20, that could be a franchise quarterback if drafted in the right situation. Back in the day, there was 1 or 2 franchise quarterbacks in every draft. Because when you played back in the day, you got hit. And when you got hit at the quarterback position, you had to think. Your mind was racing. So it's so easy to play quarterback right now. That's why there's 2 franchise quarterbacks. So Shadeur Sanders can play in today's NFL as a franchise quarterback. I do believe that. But here's what I fear. And I'm not a Browns fan, I'm a Ravens fan. I talk about the Browns a lot because I want them to fire the Ivy League cult. When they get rid of the Ivy League cult, I'll start following them again. But here's what's going to happen to Shadeur. He's probably going to start the season because they're going to give him more playing time. He'll probably start at Kenny Pickett. I wouldn't even play Joe Flacco. He's 45 fucking years old. I like Flacco, but if you're really trying to better the team, what's the point of playing a 40-year-old quarterback? You need to see what you got in Kenny Pickett and Shadeur Sanders. So you bring both of them guys out. Dylan Gabriel shouldn't have been drafted. Now, I know what this Ivy League cult's going to do. They're going to force him out there to try to prove that they're right about like Anthony Schwartz, but it's not going to work. So if I was the Browns, I'd play Kenny Pickett or Shadeur and see what we got in them. But here's what's going to happen to Shadeur. Stefanski, he'll look good for a while, and then Stefanski's going to ruin it because Stefanski's offense is so basic. If you watch the Cleveland Browns in the fucking games, Stefanski runs the same plays during the course of the game 2 or 3 times over and over during the course of the game. That's why no quarterback can be good in this offense. His mind of football is very, very what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. It's very elementary. He has not a good mind for football. He thinks he does. Why is he still calling plays in 2025? It's obvious his offense sucks. I don't know why, because he's a fucking egomaniac. So he's going to ruin Shadeur. That's a fact. But I do think Shadeur can play. If I was Shadeur's camp, I'd want to get the fuck out of Cleveland. I would. And maybe they're trying to trade him now because there are probably teams out there that looked at him and said, well, this guy does look a lot better than we thought. So whatever. And his daddy's not involved anymore. Here's what I'm hoping happens. Here's what I want to happen. I hope Shadeur gets a starting job. Starts playing good, then he starts playing bad, and he starts complaining to his dad about the Ivy League call. The Ivy League call. You people don't know what's going on in Cleveland right now. I'm the only guy I know other people that know, but I'm the guy that out there to discover this. There's an Ivy League call. Paul DePodesta, Kevin Stefanski, and Andrew Bear. They're all three Ivy League nerds. What they're doing right now, they're conducting an experiment with an NFL roster. They're trying to win their fucking way. Kevin Stefanski was an unwilling participant when he first came to Cleveland. Paul DePodesta is the master puppet master. He's me in this situation, but he's a fucking nerd. He's pulling the strings right now. He's experimenting, and they're experimenting with an NFL roster on how to win their way. They think they're smarter than football guys. They think they're going to rewrite the rules of football, rewrite the way football's teams are built, rewrite the way football players are drafted. They think everything. They think they're better than everybody. We need to get rid of them. This is why I don't like the Cleveland Browns anymore. I cannot have Ivy League nerds running my football team. They had Mike Vrabel, who would have probably coached the team if given a chance, but they didn't even offer him the job because Master Depot wanted him nowhere to be found, because if he got the job, Master Depot was out of a job. I'm going to have to go in a long, detailed video on X, because then I can say what I really fucking feel. But I do think Shadeur in today's NFL could play. Because, like I said, you don't have to be great in today's NFL to be a franchise quarterback. When you can sit in that pocket knowing that you're not going to get hit, and receivers know they're not going to have a life-altering, head-on-a-swivel hit, it's so much. That's why all the receivers look great today. That's why all the quarterbacks, there's 22 franchise quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, you think he's a franchise quarterback? 15 years ago, he's not even in the fucking league. Pat Mahomes, 15 years ago, was a practice squad player. He would have been broken in half, running around the field like a jackass. Baker Mayfield, 15 years ago, was Brett Favre in the 90s. That's who he is. He could have played. He's built for it. Yes, trust me. That's why there's so many franchise quarterbacks. The rules are set up so the fucking players can all dominate. If you're a quarterback right now, I mean, think about it. You're sitting in the pocket. You know you're not going to get hit. You're not allowed to. They're going to protect you. So you got all the confidence in the world. You can step in and throw. You can't go at knees no more. You can step. You have no fear whatsoever playing the position unless you take off and run. When you're a receiver, you know you can't get lit up. Blindside hit no more. Can't happen. So you're free. So these great receivers today, like Jamar Chase, Jefferson, all these guys, maybe they'd be good 15 years ago. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they'd get fucking rocked like Chad Johnson did with Brian Russell. Remember when Brian Russell for the Browns safety hit him? Maybe they'd get rocked like that hit, and it would alter their way they play football. Maybe they wouldn't be as good anymore. See, that's the difference. So, yeah, I'm going to start making more videos now, because I'm going to start fucking making more videos. You got me fucking pissed off now saying I don't fucking make videos. I'm going to make fucking more videos. But I got fucking X to make videos on. I got this account over here, and I got this fucking account. So, whatever. And as far as Lamar Jackson goes, let's call spade a spade. When Lamar Jackson came in the league, I was absolutely right about him. He was horrible. Couldn't throw a football. But I will say this about Lamar Jackson. The man worked at his craft. Hey, I laughed when he had his mom doing his agent work, whatever. Look what he did. Got the biggest contract, I think, in football. And if you look at Lamar Jackson, he's gotten better every year. And in the playoffs, they're not losing because of Lamar Jackson. They lost because of Mark Andrews, and they got down to the 2-yard line. They first and goal, and they rushed it. They didn't get in. They settled for a field goal. So they should have been in the Super Bowl last year. They would have won the Super Bowl. So they're not losing because of Lamar Jackson. That thing about Lamar Jackson can't win in the playoffs, it's done. It's over with. Lamar Jackson's a great quarterback. He's the best quarterback in football right now. The man literally doesn't even need to run. He can beat you. He is, I never thought you can get better at your craft as playing quarterback. I never thought he would, but he is a great quarterback right now. So Lamar Jackson's the best quarterback in the league. No doubt about it. Joe Burrow, would he be a franchise quarterback? No, he'd be broken in half, because back in the day when you're allowed to hit quarterbacks, he's not built for it. But Joe Burrow's a top 5 quarterback right now. But, yeah, Lamar Jackson's a beast. That's my team, the Ravens, the OG Browns. Now, when they get rid of the Ivy League cult and bring in football guys like John Gruden, I'll be a fucking Cleveland Brown fan again, trust me. You bring in John Gruden or anybody that has football knowledge and get rid of Barry, Stefanski, and Depot, I'm back. But I won't root for a fucking team run by Ivy League fucking nerds. Just won't do it, can't do it, can't win that way, won't win that way. And the Browns won't win that way. You remember the playoff game a couple years ago? Flacco threw 2 pick sixes. You know why he threw 2 pick sixes? Because if you look at the play, it was a highlight on ESPN or whatever, the HBO highlights. They called the exact play that Flacco threw the pick six on. They called it. The defense for the, I forget the guy's name, for the Titans, or not Titans, Texans, they go, watch this, pick six coming up. And it was a pick six. They knew exactly what Stefanski was calling. And it wasn't because they had Connor Stallions. You know why they knew that? Because Stefanski's offense is so fucking basic, elementary, and he's predictable. He runs the same plays over and over. He's not smart. Stefanski might be book smart. He's like a college professor. But he's not smart enough to be able to match wits with NFL fucking coordinators. He's just not. He thinks he is, but he's not. How he's still calling plays after 5 years is just ridiculous. He's an egomaniac, and I can't stand him, and he's the reason the Cleveland Browns are a fucking embarrassment clown show. Cleveland Browns are the most unphysical team in the league right now because of Kevin Stefanski, the Ivy League clown show. It makes me sick thinking about it. I cannot believe that the Cleveland Browns are run by Ivy League clowns. Anyway, that's the video. By the way, I'm 56 years old, and do I look it? I didn't think so.